Apple finally revealed the 10th generation iPad that we have been waiting for, but it is peak stupidity, at least for what they're offering to the people and some of the insane choices that they have made. We're gonna be going over that as well as some of the awesome benefits of this new iPad. And you guys know that we already purchased one. We're gonna be comparing it to the previous budget iPad and the iPad Air, so make sure you guys are subscribed. Starting out with the design, you guys see these new colors. Now I actually like that they pop more, but not everybody will. And if you think that this looks practically like the iPad Air, well, that is exactly right. It is practically an iPad Air 4. We have those flat sides and an even bezel all around, so no, we do not get the Touch ID sensor on the front like we had in the rumors and renders. Instead, we have that larger Touch ID button that is on one of the flat sides. And powering this new iPad, we have the A14 chip, so it's basically the same as the iPad Air 4. We also have stereo speakers when it's being used in landscape, and that's a huge upgrade from the previous budget iPad being mono. And I'm really curious to hear how they sound. Are they gonna be as good, or are they going to be limited? The same thing goes with the A14. Is it gonna be full performance, or could it be slowed down? Some people are already saying that it is. That's something we're definitely gonna check out in our full comparison. And as far as the display, it looks like the same exact display from that iPad, but this is where stuff starts to get weird and gets even weirder. Now the display is the same, but if we take a closer look, we do not have P3 color accuracy, which that panel actually has. Now, even worse, this display is non-laminated, which was one of our biggest complaints about the 9th gen iPad. And that means there's a gap between the touch layer and the panel. One, it doesn't look great, but even worse, it lowers your contrast. It's definitely noticeable, and you have a lot more reflectivity. This also makes it not as good for using the Apple Pencil. And it's interesting that even in Apple's marketing video, they show delay when using the Apple Pencil. Now, if you notice something weird about that video, you're right, because Apple is limiting this design to the original Apple Pencil. Not the Apple Pencil 2, which snaps on magnetically, it pairs automatically, and it charges quickly that way. You use the original one that has a lightning connector with this iPad. That is straight up a limitation that they're doing on purpose. And the crazier thing is that you cannot pair your Apple Pencil to this new iPad without using an adapter to get it to pair and using a cable to charge it up and pair it. Now, what's even crazier is that in the box for this new iPad, they are not including that adapter. You have to buy it for $9 separately, which I was gonna do because I have an Apple Pencil, but it doesn't come until November. Now, if you buy a brand new old Apple Pencil from Apple, they will include that adapter in the box if you go spend $100. So I was gonna do that because I had to, I wanted to get it quicker, but that also doesn't ship out till November. This is just insane that they're blocking the Apple Pencil 2 from working. You gotta use your old one, but you can't unless you go and spend some extra money. If this was just some kind of hardware limitation with that display, why not include that adapter in the box? Because you only need that adapter for this iPad. But no, they rather make some extra money, and I think that is just a shame. And with that, if you don't already know the price, it is $450. $450 compared to $329, where a lot of times we had sales for $299 or even lower. So some people were complaining about prices going up to $350 or $399. This is $450, and if you want to get a 128 gig version, you can't. You have to go to 256, and that's another $150. So this thing is getting crazy expensive. So if you're spending that much, why don't you just get an iPad Air 5th generation? You can actually buy one brand new for $519, not a big step up, and you get a lot of other improvements with that, including, better processing with that M1 chip. Even better, you can buy an iPad Air 4 refurbished with a 90-day money-back guarantee from Amazon for $429. And that uses the same processor. It has, good speakers. You can use the new Apple Pencil. It is laminated. You have P3 wide color accuracy, and you're spending less money. I'll leave the links to those down in the description below. Now, the only thing that really makes this one more desirable is the fact that they put the camera in landscape mode now. Now, you don't have Face ID or anything, you have that Touch ID, but if you're using it landscape or with a keyboard, you're gonna look much more normal compared to even the brand new iPad Pro that they just announced, where if you're looking at the screen, it looks like you're looking off way to the side. It also has center stage, which is nice. You get a wider image that can crop in. And with that, they released a brand new keyboard called the Magic Keyboard Folio. Now, this thing looks really great. You have a full row of function keys, which is really nice to have. The keys have 1 millimeter of travel, so that is great. And you can detach the keyboard portion from the back that can stay on for protection, and you have your adjustment angle built into that as well. Now, Apple said it's a brand new unique keyboard, but if you guys remember the Folio keyboard from Logitech, well, that thing was $99 for the budget iPad. It looked very similar, had the same connector mechanism that you could take apart. This is not super unique. It's basically a copy of that, but get this, it is $250 for this keyboard, which is crazy. Now, I know it's gonna be a great keyboard, but it doesn't have that floating design of the Magic Keyboard, and that floating design was awesome. It brings the screen closer to you. You can adjust it. So that is one expensive keyboard for a budget iPad. Now, overall, I have to say that adding those stereo speakers, having that landscape camera, the new design, a lot of people are gonna be happy with this, especially if they are okay with sticking with that 64GB model. That's $450 if you can afford it, and you don't need the extra features or extra performance of the higher end ones. Well, you're gonna be happy with it, especially if you don't need the Apple Pencil or if you don't use that. But just because they raised the price by a lot and they added these things, which we know they're specifically limiting what this thing can do with that non-limited display, with the Apple Pencil, with some of the other stuff, it just makes it really a shame. And it just sounds very dumb and very, peak stupidity to lock these things down when they absolutely don't have to be, and Apple's raising the price by that much. Maybe if they kept it $399, or, personally, I'd be even happy with that leaked design, which has the Touch ID button. If they would keep the price at $350, $379, maybe make it not as nice in a way, especially if they're limiting it to the first generation Apple Pencil. I think that'd be much more reasonable, but at this point, I would just buy an iPad Air 4 that is refurbished for less. It is more capable overall, and as long as you just don't need that landscape camera. So I think a lot of people are kind of disappointed with this, maybe even more disappointed with the iPad Pro that was just refreshed. You guys let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Click that circle above to subscribe so you guys don't miss out our video on the iPad Pro and what has changed and what hasn't. Check out one of those great videos right over there. This has been Max, and I'll see you in the next one.